Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Aryantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Savanam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah. Namaha Samai Saraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chit Sabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandhanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Tirthankaro Jagatana Jaivantavarto Omkaranada Jinano Jaivantavarto Jinana samo sarana so jaivantavarto Netirthachara jagama jaivantavarto Namo etirthanayakane namo omkaranadane Omkara sangarotene namo te sri kunda kundane Ahopakara Jinavarano Kundano Dhvani Divyano Jina Kunda Dhvaniyatya Aho Te Guru Kamano Aho Bhagavati Matanam Dhruva Achalane Anupama Gati Pamela Sarve Siddhane Bandi Kaho Sutta Kevali Pasita Asamaya Prabhrata Are Hum Eka Suddha Sada Arupi Jnana Darasanamay Kare Kayanyate Maru Jari Paramanu Matranati Are Jamnetrate Majjnanati Karakanati Vedaka Are Jane Jakar Moday Nirajara Bandate Majamokshane Om Namasidevyo Om Namasidevyo Om Sri Sudatmane Namaha Jai Jinendra. Today is July 28, 2020, Tuesday, and we are continuing our class on basic Jain principles on the and we are following the scripture called Jain Siddhant Praveshika. And this the pramaan gnaan, the comprehensive knowledge, is a last chapter on that. Jain Siddhant Praveshika is on the basis of question answers. What is the universe? Six substances combined together makes universe. What's a substance? What's a attribute? What's a mode? And things like that. Question answer session in the question answer form is there. There are 667 questions are there in which the answers are given. They are kind of shorter answer, one paragraph answer, something like that. And we are expanding on those those questions and everything. When we started this class about three weeks back or whatever, and we just took the definition of pramaan gnaan from a Pariksha Mukha scripture, which was written by Manik Chandji Acharya sometimes in the 10th or 11th century. And at the time, Atul Bhai Gosalia has said that there is also pramaan, Nyay is also referred in the other scriptures also. That's true. And what's happening here, the definition of pramaan gnaan, comprehensive knowledge, it is given in such a comprehensive way that it refutes the other beliefs. Simple one example. One of the beliefs says that knowledge can see the alien objects of the universe, but knowledge cannot see the self. Just like saying, my eyes can see everything, but my eyes cannot see the eye. That's an argument given in one of the philosophies. I forgot which philosophy it says there. So, if one wants to really want to understand the nitty-gritty things about a comparison with the different philosophies, etc., that this Pariksha Sutra, that's a scripture, one can go through it. And I tried to go through it, and it gets in so much comparatively with the other religions, etc., that not having knowledge about the other philosophies, one can get lost. And so I have not put as much effort to just say why this is right and why it's not right somewhere else and everything, because that's not the intent. Intent is, do we understand what we understand with the proper explanation and argument. So for further interest, one can review that book, and if you want, I can send you that book it's in Hindi, Sanskrit and Hindi. So that will be only the thing. I think it's in Gujarati also. I doubt. No, it was in Hindi and Sanskrit, And another book is called Nyay Deepika. And that was, I think, Aklang Dev wrote down or whatever. So if those couple of books are there, I can send it out to you people, but it will be in Hindi. So you can just do your personal study on that and see what it is. Having said that, let's come back to where we are, and let me bring my slides and see where I am. Here it is, yes. Screen share. Okay, so pramaan gnaan, where we are here. We had completed this slide, but we will just to recapitulate from last week. We'll just go quickly through that, and then we'll go further. So comprehensive knowledge, definitely the classification, comprehensive knowledge or organ of knowledge or pramaan gnaan. Once again, what's comprehensive knowledge? To know a given entity from all possible angles. Absolute knowing a given entity from every possible angle. A given entity can have infinite possibilities. And from all those different angles to know, that is only possible in a omniscience knowledge. Omniscience knowledge is a perfect knowledge. Omniscience knowledge is a complete knowledge. Omniscience knowledge is comprehensive knowledge. It knows everything from every angle. So to be purist, the comprehensive knowledge can only be found out in omniscience knowledge. Then what happens through samyak gnaan, the right knowledge, enlightened knowledge? In that one, a soul ends up knowing who I am. Who I am, he knows, plus he knows everything besides me are alien objects in total. So then who I am and who is not me. Of course, that also is a big chapter, big thing to talk about. But that will be a comprehensive knowledge in an enlightened knowledge or samyak gnaan or right knowledge. What we have is a wrong knowledge, is an ignorant type of knowledge. Why we have, that's why comprehensive knowledge is not possible in me or in a wrong knowledge people. But What we are doing is we are doing studying of that, because once we study, then we can keep going further ahead to understand what it tries to say for everybody else. In the sense, remember, I have to realize who I am. I'm in the wrong knowledge state right now, in the ignorant state right now, and I have only five senses and mind. With those five senses and mind, I acquire knowledge, and that's why it's called indirect knowledge, or it's called non-comprehensive knowledge. It's called ignorant form of knowledge, because five senses and mind can know the alien objects of the universe. But five senses and mind combined together, they don't have capacity to know the supersensuous nature of the eternal soul substance. So now in quandary right now, on one side of the coin, you say that comprehensive knowledge, one has to have right knowledge, enlightenment, samyak gnaan, samyak darshan, etc. Other side of the coin, you're saying that five senses and mind, they can know only alien objects. That's why it's called ignorance. And third point, only with this five sense and mind, I can acquire knowledge of a soul indirectly. And then I have to convert that indirect knowledge into direct knowledge, means supersensuous knowledge. So the plot becomes thickened over here, and it just says, this is too complicated. This is too complicated, and I don't want to follow all these things because I get confused. Actually, in scripture says, when you determine that you're confused, that means you're on the right path. But in most of the people, they even have no idea that they're confused or not confused or anything. This is too complicated. I have no part of it. So they give up. But without knowing this part, it will be difficult to realize the soul. So we have to have some form of knowledge about this comprehensive knowledge to understand. And then whole idea with this comprehensive knowledge chapter is to realize myself. So that's a bottom line. I need to realize myself. I need to have self-experience. I need to have self-realization. I need to have Atma-gnaan. I need to have right knowledge. I have to have Samyak gnaan. For that thing, I have to have some knowledge about this comprehensive knowledge, pramaan gnaan. Having said that, it has two types, direct and indirect. Direct knowledge and indirect knowledge, pratyaksh pramaan and paroksh pramaan. Now, pratyaksh pramaan means direct knowledge, acquiring direct knowledge with the support of one's own soul, atmana asraya. Pratyaksh pramaan atmana asraya થાય છે. Means soul is only the entity which knows the object directly. What's this direct and indirect and all the things? Right now, for me to know anything, I need to have senses. I got to go to the eye doctor because my eyes are becoming weak. I may have a cataract. I need to have cataract surgery. And while I'm going to surgery, I hope I don't lose my eye and everything. Because if I lose my eye, it will be disaster. I go to the hearing people, just check my hearing. And if I'm getting deaf, give me the equipment. Because if I don't have hearing, I'll be in trouble. So I'm dependent on my sensual knowledge, sensory knowledge, knowledge obtained through five senses. But that's called indirect knowledge. When the soul has to acquire knowledge through the senses, it's called indirect knowledge. And soul acquiring knowledge directly without interference with the senses, that's called direct knowledge. Give me one example of the direct knowledge, please. Well, Siddha Bhagwan, he has no senses. He has no five senses or mind. He has no physical body. He's a pure soul. And he's an embodiment of knowledge, which we all are also. He's an embodiment of knowledge, and he had manifested that pure knowledge completely. Siddha Bhagwan knows whole universe, past, present, future, every moment. That's a proof that for knowledge to occur, you don't need senses. Well, you're talking Siddha Bhagwan. Siddha Bhagwan is different entity and we are different entity. He is a free soul. I'm the transmigratory soul. So talk something about, for example, which fits with me. Okay, Acharya Bhagwan says, we'll give the example. And he gives the example of the dream that we talked last week, I think. That you are in deep sleep and all the five senses and mind are at rest, and now you are witnessing a dream. That you are the prince, a coronation is occurring, and you are getting the, you are becoming king today. Soft clothes are there, touching. Colorful clothes are there, eyes. The dancers are doing dances and you are witnessing those dances, again the eyes involved. You are listening to that great music, ears are involved. And you are also eating tasty food, tongue is involved. All the five senses, that they are quiet right now while you are sleeping, and in a dream you are seeing the effect of all the five senses. How did you get that knowledge when the mind and senses were at rest? That means soul can know directly. Okay, now I'm getting convinced. Okay, all right, okay. So pratyaksh pramaan is a direct knowledge acquired with the support of one's own soul. The knowledge which is clear, pure, transparent is known as pratyaksh pramaan. Vishad gnaan ne pramaan gnaan kahe che. Means this knowledge is this omniscience knowledge basically, or pratyaksh pramaan, we can just say samyak gnaan also, that it's a clear, pure and transparent. There are no interference from the senses, etc. The direct knowledge, purity can be known with experience only. Somebody has made certain food. Well, I'll give you an example. We had one family was living over here in Phoenix, a Suresh Mehta family and everything, many years back, 30 years back, more than that. And Suresh used to say all the time, oh my God, his wife will say, oh, Suresh makes a great food, great food, great food. It's one of the eating item. And I had no idea, and I didn't want to show my ignorance. So one time we had a guest from India, and we had the guest we are the common families for the guest. So they are invited, and then Suresh's wife says, Pragna says that Suresh will make food. So I was expecting that I'm going to have a great feast today in the evening. So here I come, and the dinner starts. And food comes on the table, and I'm looking that where is the food? Where is food? Where is food? And it was a special type of beans. I was expecting it could be a special dish with the sweets, etc. So I have no idea. So I was making all kind of flight of ideas in my mind. But actually, when I tasted, that's a different thing. Not knowing, I was doing all crazy ideas about. Now I know it. I know what that food is. So here, direct knowledge is purity can be known with experience. Now I know what the fool is. Now, fool is not FOOL. It's a fool. It's just an Indian word. So it can be understood with the experience only. I can describe everything about a place I visited, but to understand it completely, I had to experience that place by going there. So purity of the knowledge only can be known through the experience only. So do you believe in omniscience knowledge? Well, you just talk about it and scriptures talks about it and everything. I don't believe it. Well, if you want to believe it, get omniscience knowledge. Then you will know exactly what omniscience knowledge means. So direct knowledge purity only with the experience. Same thing with Samyak Darshan. The books and books and books are written. But what is Samyak Darshan? One can keep on talking and talking forever. But simple thing, Samyak Darshan is experiencing the soul substance, period. So much that in Samaisa, stanza 9 and 10, it says that the scriptural omniscience, Sutta Kevali, means one who is still having the scriptural knowledge, means Sutta Gnaan right now, but he has studied all the 12 Ang and 14 Purva, means huge scriptures. Once one has studied that, it's a huge, means it's just beyond imagination how much it is. Just like by saying that Acharan Sutra is the first sutra out of 12 sutra, so it has a 18,000 chapter, and each chapter has 5.1 million sloks and more. And so Sutta Krutang Sutra is the next one. It has a 36,000 chapter, and each one has 5.1 million slok, and so on and so forth. It keeps on going that way. So that much knowledge one can have in his scriptural knowledge. And he's called scriptural omniscience. And he is having the self-experience. So to become Sutta Kevali, to become scriptural omniscience, one has to learn all those things. Here, Logos Sutra to speak by heart. I start making mistake. Well, okay, let's talk about Atma Siddhi Sastra, 142 stanza. Oh, are you nuts? I can't remember that. How about 415 stanza of Samaisa? No way, Jose, So remembering my capacity to know is only so limited. I have made it limited. And here, to know 12 Ang and 14 Purva, huge amount of scripture, it's called scriptural omniscience, Sutta Kevali. And in 10 stanza, Samaisar, Kunkun Acharya Dev says, in the 9th stanza, I give definition about the Sutta Kevali, one who knows the 12 Ang and 14 Purvas by heart, but one who has experienced the soul substance, Samyak gnaan, Samyak darshan, he is also called Sutta Kevali, scriptural omniscience. Wait a second. Here you are talking 12 Ang and 14 Purva to know it, and on the other side, experiencing soul substance, and that means it's Sutta Kevali? Yes, because 12 Ang and 14 Purva combined together in one word, if you want to say, that means it just leads everywhere how to experience a soul substance. So the experience is important. Now, this is a great deal for us, huh? Just experience that soul substance means I understood 12 Ang and 14 Purva. Yes. So Acharya Bhagavan has made life so easy for us. It says you don't have to remember 142 stanzas of the Atma Siddhi. You don't have to remember Logos. You don't have to remember Samaisa 415 stanza. You don't have to remember 48 stanzas of Bhaktamar, etc., etc., etc. Experience a soul substance, you know everything. So this is what it says over here. So, and let's go further. So now direct knowledge of two types. Direct knowledge in conventional sense and transcendental knowledge. Paramarthik pratyaks. Samvyavaharik pratyaks and Paramarthik pratyaks. So two names are there. Now this is what, now we are doing direct knowledge. We are going to dissect it further down. So first we'll take transcendental knowledge, Paramarthik pratyaks. What it says, transcendental knowledge could be of two types. Perfect perception, partial perception. Partial perception is a clairvoyance knowledge and telepathy knowledge, and perfect perception is omniscience knowledge. What does it mean? So knowledge can be divided into 5 subgroups: cognitive knowledge or sensory knowledge, scriptural knowledge, clairvoyance knowledge, telepathy knowledge, and omniscience knowledge. Out of which the last 3, they are called transcendental knowledge or Paramarthik pratyaks or direct knowledge. That means soul ends up knowing without the help of the senses and mind, and this is called transcendental knowledge. There is no need for senses or mind. Soul can know it directly. So if one has clairvoyance knowledge today, for example, clairvoyance knowledge means some matter object away from me, and I can exactly perceive that matter object. Simple example. Right now in city of Bombay, it's about 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Exactly what's happening, what people are moving from where to where, how the trains are, all those things to know sitting over here directly without having any senses involved. That's called clairvoyance knowledge. Telepathy knowledge is to know the thought process occurring in somebody's mind. So one has a telepathy knowledge and he can read the thought process in somebody else's mind. That would be great, right? To have that knowledge? Sure, try it. Simple thing. If I say something derogatory thing about Atul Gosalia, for example, right now, and he's not here, for example, and you go and tell him that Kirit was talking something derogatory about you, what will happen? We will just be burning with the rage inside. Now, here I am reading the thought process, standing a person in front of me, and he may be smiling at me, but he may be cursing me from within. The example I give, for example, in this one is the 2016 election, for example. Everybody was sure that Hillary Clinton will win, and now she ended up losing, and she had to give a concession speech. On the camera, she's smiling. She's saying, Donald Trump, congratulations, wish you best luck and everything. She's smiling. What is she thinking inside? Each sentence she's cursing him. And so if you that if that's called manapariyagnan, means whatever thought process going in the mind, there you don't need senses. Who can have a omniscience knowledge, means complete knowledge of the past, present, future of whole universe. The Aryan Bhagwan, the omniscience knowledge, omniscience Lord, and Tirthankar Bhagwan and Siddha Bhagwan, they have the Keval Gnaan, omniscience knowledge. They know everything about every substance in the universe, past, present, future. So these are the direct knowledges. Who can have a manapariyagnan? Excuse me. Very highly learned saints who are about to become omniscience Lord. They are so highly knowledgeable saints, and not all those saints, only occasional saints can have that kind of knowledge. One example is Indrabhuti Gautam Swami, who is the first disciple of Mahavir Swami. He is entering in Mahavir Swami's assembly of preaching Samosaram, and as soon as he passes through that man's thumb, his ego gets dissolved, and he gets right away he gets a samyak darshan. He has a right scriptural knowledge, right sensory knowledge, and he ends up taking diksha in front of Mahavir Swami, and he obtains manapariyagnan, telepathy knowledge, and avdignan, clairvoyance knowledge, right there and there. So that kind of person we are talking here. So that's
Garrett, one question.
please.
Does the clairvoyance knowledge and telepathy knowledge, does it help you in your spiritual progress, or it's just a side effect?
Yes, very nice question that you put it in. What did we say right now? And it's a really thoughtful question. Clairvoyance knowledge, one has it or doesn't have it. Telepathy knowledge, one has it or doesn't have it. What difference does it make in the spiritual progress? Well, telepathy knowledge knows the thought process of somebody else, and thought process, according to Jainism, is described as having matter origin. The material mind and the psychic mind means material mind means the matter object, the mind made of matter particles. And at that time, the soul can have certain inclinations. When both combine together, it's called thought process. Now, that means thought process is considered as a matter in nature. So here, knowing somebody else's mind means knowing the matter object. And what difference does it make? I am the eternal soul substance. I'm supposed to experience my eternal soul substance in a supersensuous way. So it doesn't make difference what matter objects are in front of me. So that knowledge is, as you put right word, this kind of a side thing. It's not that important to have it. Same with clairvoyance knowledge. Clairvoyance knowledge knows about the matter objects far away from me. What difference does it make? Something happens in city of Bombay right now, or doesn't happen. I'm sitting over here, and it's a matter object, and I want to know about my my true knowledge within me. So those things, they are there or not there, doesn't make much difference. But highly learned saints, very an occasional saint can have this knowledge. Clairvoyance knowledge can have to Samyakdarshi Jiva also, and it can also be present in wrong knowledge, means Mithyatvi Jiva also, but it has no value. It doesn't carry much value, but it is there. So that's what one has to know about it.
What about the knowledge of past birth? For example, that might help you in swing how would I have been.
Past birth is called Jatismaran Gnaan. Jatismaran Gnaan is remembering previous lives. For example, I can know what did I do today, what did I do yesterday, what did I do? Well, I may be a little smarter person, and I may say I know everything from my birth, which is called a foolish thing, but I can say, yes, I know everything, what I was doing at 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, whatever. But that knowledge also has no value on your spiritual progress, because that's simply a sharpness of knowledge. And instead of having knowledge up to this birth, the knowledge can be extended to the previous births too. That will be clarity of the knowledge, but that has no other value, because in the wrong fate state also somebody can have that kind of knowledge, and that knowledge, it can say previous life I was such and such, and you go there and you find it out and you just say, oh yeah, that was there, so that has no other value. Jati smaran gnaan, that's what it says. Now, if that jati smaran gnaan, that knowing of the previous life, if it is associated with the right knowledge, samyak darshan, then it has a value. For example, Champaben, the one that we call Bensriben, or what we call fondly as Mataji, she was the disciple of Sri Kanji Swami, and she had Jati Smaran Gnaan, and she also had a Samyak Darshan. So she knew exactly previous lives, what has happened to her, and at the same time she also knew what Kanji Swami was doing in the past life and everything, and she gave all that descriptions. And medicine of Gnaan Vaibhav, there's a book like that, and it describes all those things. So if it is there with the right knowledge, I mean with Samyak Darshan, then it may have some value, but in general it has no other value. Just like the way we may remember Bhaktamar and Atma Siddhisatra and Samaysar and these and that and everything. What difference does it make? It doesn't make any difference unless you use that knowledge to purify yourself and try to go within. If that helps you go within, then that knowledge can be helpful. Otherwise, it is just like cassette recorder keeps on blabbering the same thing again and again. Same thing you are doing since in the morning, every day in the morning, you just recite Bhaktamar, etc., etc. But if you don't go in detail about it, don't try to go towards the realization of the soul, then that knowledge has no value. Knowledge alone has no value. Knowledge alone, and especially knowledge alone means knowledge of the alien objects of the universe, has no value. But it has only value when it is with the self-realization. So those are the things we have to learn. So pramaan gnaan will tell exactly that how I'm perceiving the objects in the universe, and now how can I take this knowledge, this sensory knowledge, knowledge obtained with these five senses, how can I try to take it to within and try to realize myself? So this is this chapter tries to tell us practicality on how can I use this knowledge in my benefit. Right? Okay. So transcendental knowledge, Paramahansa Pratyaks, two types: perfect knowledge, perfect perception, partial perception. Now we will talk about direct knowledge in conventional sense. This is like little confusing thing in understanding. Samvyavaharik, word samvyavaharik means it is not absolute. Pratyaks means direct, and pramaan means knowledge. So direct knowledge in conventional sense. Direct knowledge in conventional sense means what? Means, remember, I have the five senses right now, right? Yes. I have seen you yesterday at that certain place. With my own eyes, I have seen you there. And my eyes are strong, and I have seen you in that particular place. So, the knowledge that I obtained through my eyes, it's called direct knowledge. I did see this object yesterday, and it's the same object I'm seeing right now. There's a connector from my audio to my phone. So, is it not true that I saw yesterday and it's over here right now? Yes. But is it called direct knowledge? Yeah, because this is the object, and I saw that object yesterday. I'm seeing that object right now. So it's a direct knowledge. Conventional type means it's obtained through the senses. I heard certain thing, exact words, and they are getting repeated today. Did I not hear those words yesterday? Yes. Am I hearing same thing right now? Yes. So is it called direct knowledge? Yes. But conventional type because ears are involved. Same thing with the taste. Same thing with the smell. Same thing with the touch. So all five senses involved in capturing a knowledge. That's called direct knowledge, but called conventional sense because it is a partial knowledge I'm getting it. What is a partial knowledge means what? I just saw you yesterday and I'm telling you I saw you yesterday, I'm seeing you today. What's a partial knowledge in that one? Because it's a fragmented form of knowledge, because it's obtained through the senses, because when I obtain knowledge through the senses, in my soul, in my knowledge mode, they are perceived in a fragmented form, just like that mango on the table, and my eyes are looking at the color. So my knowledge mode says, through the eye, I got the color of the mango. Through the nose, I got the smell of the mango. Through the touch, I felt the softness of the mango. And through the tongue, I had a taste of the mango. So mango in general is mango. And that object, I end up knowing with the four different senses in fragmented form. That's why it's called conventional knowledge. It's not direct knowledge. It's indirect knowledge. It's a fragmented knowledge, conventional knowledge, non-absolute form of knowledge. So I saw you yesterday. Yes, it's direct, but it's conventional way. I smelled something yesterday and I'm smelling same thing or whatever. So all those things, they are called direct knowledge in conventional sense. And this will come really at handy as we progress further. Because direct knowledge is the base through which I get further knowledge. So direct knowledge in conventional sense is the base right now for me with five sense and mind at this point. Because this is only the thing I have. This is only the means I have, and I have to thrive on this means to further myself and to go for self-realization. And it will show the process, exact process, how that thing evolves. So when people say we get confused and everything, because we are not putting enough time to understand this kind of philosophical base. So that's what it is. Direct knowledge in conventions. One which knows a thing clearly. I saw you clearly yesterday in the mall, or I saw you clearly yesterday jogging, but partially with the help of senses, only with the eyes that I'm talking about. I was far away, so I can't hear, I can't scream at you. But I saw you and I just saw it with a eye only, or I heard only. I was in a different room, but I heard somebody talking something. But that was my ears. The same thing with the nose and touch and taste and everything. So with the help of mind and senses is known as samvyarik pratyaksh gnaan. I have seen clearly, I have heard clearly, I smell clearly, I tasted clearly, I touched clearly, but with the help of senses. That's why it's called direct knowledge in conventional form. It's a fragmented form of knowledge. For example, I did see clearly that person with my own eyes. That's a direct knowledge in conventional sense. Sensory knowledge, mati gnaan, and scriptural knowledge, sutta gnaan, fall in this category. So these are the two guys that I had to work with, mati gnaan and sutta gnaan. These are the two knowledges I have right now. When you have lemon, make lemonade out of it. When you have mati gnaan, sutta gnaan, use in proper sense, and they will help you to go to experience your soul substance ultimately. For that thing to describe in Samaysar, Kunkun Acharya, they took 144 stanza, and at the end of 144th stanza, he explains to us how a sensory knowledge and scriptural knowledge can be used to get experiencing of the soul. In our Samaysar class, we are only in 32nd stanza. We'll come to 144 and then we'll know how to experience a soul substance. So you have the, whatever you have it, utilize that. Use it or lose it. And you're fortunate that you're a human being born with the five senses and mind. Plus, you have inquisitiveness about the scriptural process, and you are trying to understand. You are trying to gather information. You try to make the decision about the nature of the soul and everything. All those things happens with the sensory knowledge and scriptural knowledge. So, direct knowledge in conventional sense plays a great role for us people. If we understand this chapter properly, you have the clear idea for the pathway for getting the Samyak Darshan. That reminds me, many years back, maybe close to 30 years back, in a first part of the 80s or something, there was one person who came with a drama from New York, and he was a physician. And he had written some books on Jainism, and I was impressed because I knew nothing about Jainism at the time. And at the end of drama, I was talking to him, and he said, Kirit, I can show you the pathway for getting Samyak Darshan and the Keval Gnaan and everything. Only thing, I don't know how to do that, but I know the process. Similarly here, we have to know the process. Once we understand the process completely, what prevents you to walk on that path? You make a determination. When you understand this process, your capacity to obtain the end result. So, having said that, let's go further. Comprehensive knowledge has to be free from faults. Now, this comprehensive knowledge has to be free from certain faults. So here Acharya Bhagavan says, I'm going to show you, at the same time I'm going to show you pitfalls where you can get stuck also. And then be aware of it, not to get stuck there. So he just says, comprehensive knowledge has three forms. It's called non-comprehensive fault, avyapti. Avyapti means a given attribute in a given object. Let's say this is a remote control. remote control for the audio system. Why do I say this is remote control for the audio system? And it has so many names and everything. It says Bose and all kind of thing, and play and stop and eject and all kind of thing. And that's why this is a remote control. And this one is a connector from the audio pin to the iPhone 7, because that has certain characteristics that I can perceive over here. So how can I perceive, how can I have certain attribute? Absolutely will say it is that thing only. So for example, I say I am a soul. So soul means it's non-visible, right? Non-visibility is a soul substance. That's the attribute of the soul substance. But non-visibility is also an attribute of the other substances too. So this cannot be the right attribute for soul substance. Okay. Soul substance can have anybody having the mithya darshan, anybody having wrong knowledge can be a soul. If that is an attribute we are looking for, do I have a right knowledge? Do I have samyak darshan? No. Does he have samyak darshan? No. Does she have samyak darshan? No. Oh, that makes sense. But this is Srimad Rajchandra ji sitting there. Does he have wrong knowledge? No, he has a right knowledge. Gurudev Kanji Swami, does he have wrong knowledge? No, he had a samyak darshan. Mataji Champaben, does she have a wrong knowledge? No, she has samyak darshan. So, wrong knowledge is an attribute of a substance, is kind of not an appropriate attribute giving us absolute recognition of that substance. Means certain the attribute which is present in some objects but not in all objects. Mithya darshan, wrong knowledge, that one can be present in all transmigratory soul, but not every soul. So this is non-comprehensive attribute. For example, a cow means one with a white color only. Animal with a white color can be called cow. Okay? So I can see animal with a white color, with the 4 legs and the horns, etc. So this has to be cow. But I saw another cow having the red color, black color. So white color is not completely present in all the cows. So it's called non-comprehensive fault. So if I say cow means having white color only, that will be a wrong statement. That will be foolish statement to do. That will be fault for the comprehensive or pramaan gnaan. And further it says over here, living beings' characteristics to have omniscience knowledge. Only omniscience, living being means omniscience knowledge. Only Mahavir, 24 Tirthankar, and some of the omniscient lords and some Siddha Bhagwan, they have omniscience knowledge. That's true. But omniscience knowledge is not present within us. So if I say omniscience knowledge is the attribute for a living being, then it's called non-comprehensive fault, because some can have it, some may not have it. So this cannot be a right attribute to be given for a living being. So this will be a fault. Second one, we can say fault of including what is not intended to be included within a proposition. It's a long word because There is no simple ativyapti word in English language. Avyapti, we can just say some word, but ativyapti, we have to give the full sentence to explain what that means. Fault of including what is not intended to be included within a proposition means cow means the animal with the horns. Cow means animal with the horns. Cow has horns, that's true. But at the same time, a goat has a horn, buffalo has a horn, deer has a horn. So horn cannot be sole criteria for the cow alone. So if I just say horn is an absolute criteria for the cow, that means it will be ativyapti dosh because it is also present in the other animal. Soul special characteristics is formlessness, means arupi, means I can, this one I see is this one I see is a one I can see. When I see, that means it's a matter object. Anything that is seen is a matter object, in fact. Anything seen is called matter object because matter has a color, taste, touch, and a color, taste, touch, etc. attribute. So anything that you can see, you can safely say it's a matter object. And soul is a formless, cannot be seen. That sounds right. One of my friends, which I won't give a name, but he used to say, tell me, show me the soul on my hand and I will believe it. But I said, soul is formless. I cannot show you the soul in your hand. So formlessness is a characteristic of the soul, right? Yeah, because all the souls are formless. But at the same time, medium of motion is a substance which is formless. Medium of rest is a substance which is formless. Time is a substance which is formless. Space is a substance which is formless. And so, besides soul, there can have the other substances can have the same attribute of formlessness. That means this cannot be given entire the entire characteristics of the soul. So it will be with the ativyapti, means the fault including what is not intended to be included within proposition, means this can be present in the other objects also. So that will be my fault also. Third fault is improbable fault. Improbable fault means space has a blue color. Just now we said over here in the green bullet that space is formless, colorless. And now, but look at the space, I'm looking at it right now. I go outside, the beautiful blue sky of Arizona sky we can see here. Well, you can have a New Jersey sky also and New York sky, everything. But space is formless. Whatever color you see is because of particles present in the space and they show the color. So space is colorless. So, for example, if I say soul has a right color, soul is a red color and blue color and green color, etc., etc., it will be improbability. So this is also not right. So when I say comprehensive knowledge has to be free from all these three types of faults, ativyapti, avyapti, and ashambhav, those are, that comprehensive knowledge is free from all the things. So right now, what can I say comprehensive knowledge from this side completely without any fault? Then if I say soul has a knowledge attribute. Soul has a knowledge attribute. Does Nigot soul, they have knowledge? Yes. 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense? Yes. Human, hell, heavenly soul, and subhuman souls? Yes, they have knowledge. Omniscience Lord, do they have knowledge? Yes. Siddha Bhagwan, do they have knowledge? Yes. Knowledge is the important attribute through which we can distinguish soul from the non-soul entity. So that comprehensive knowledge is free from all these three faults because it's present only in the soul, present in all the souls, present in transmigratory souls, present in liberated souls, and absent in every other object of the universe. Means it is not present in a matter. It's not present in medium of motion, medium of space and time. And that's why it's a complete knowledge. And knowing that attribute of the soul is a knowledge attribute. If we can go to the matter object can have a color, touch, taste, and touch, taste, smell, and color, etc. attribute. Out of infinite attribute, we take 3 or 4 of them. That means anything that I smell is a matter object. Anything that is seen, it's a matter object. Anything can have a touch is a matter object. So, can the soul be touched? Can the soul have a smell? Can a soul have a color? No. So, soul is without all those things. Medium motion, medium grace, space and time. Do they have touch, taste, smell, color? No. So, that means these attributes are absolutely belonging to the matter object, and they are not present in any other object. One take-home point here. Somebody says, do meditation. Okay, I do meditation. Well, I was doing meditation, I started seeing white color and flashy lights and everything. You must have heard that thing, right? Sometimes that I have heard that flashy lights. I'm only 1 minute above, but please bear with me. Let me finish this. So flashy lights, color is a attribute of the matter object. And you said, I realized the soul, and I was witnessing color and flashy lights. Buddy, you don't understand comprehensive knowledge, and you don't understand those 3 faults that they have it, because color and flashy lights, etc., is the attribute of the matter object. And now you say that I perceive the soul. How can it be possible? So, what somebody is describing about that is you just make the deduction in your own mind that whatever he says, it's just something which is not right. Anyway, so here we will stop over here, and we will take questions. If you have a couple of minutes, we can have questions, we can take it. Any questions? Yes, anybody? Okay. If there is no question, then we can do the closing, okay? जावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लो कालो, सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देत हूँ. 9 times from Oka mantra. Mitchayandukram.
Jai Jinendra, Chami Dukram.
Thank you, Jai.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra, Uncle. Oh, Uncle, did you give